What if I told you that God doesn't need your money, but He's watching what you do with it anyway? You can tithe 10%, give to every fundraiser, sponsor children overseas, and still miss the point entirely, because the shocking truth is this: God owns everything already. Psalm 24:1 says, "The earth is the Lord's, and everything in it." That includes your bank account, your business, your retirement fund, and the secret stash you think nobody knows about. He's not broke. He's not behind on a mortgage. He doesn't need you to fund His kingdom. He invites you to participate in it. But not because He needs help, because you need alignment. And that's the part most people secretly avoid. You've been told that giving is about generosity, but it's actually about surrender. That's why Jesus watched the widow drop 2 copper coins in the temple and said she gave more than the rich men dropping gold, because God sees value differently than we do. You see dollars. He sees devotion. You see sacrifice. He sees surrender. You see a transaction. He sees trust. That's why Acts 5 should terrify you. Ananias and Sapphira gave money, but lied about it, and dropped dead at Peter's feet. They gave but without integrity. They offered but without honesty. They wanted to look faithful without being surrendered. God doesn't want your money. He wants what your money represents: your heart, your priorities, your loyalties. Matthew 6:21 isn't poetic, it's a warning. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. You think your spending habits are neutral, but they're spiritual. Every purchase is a reflection of what kingdom you serve, yours or His. That's the hidden war happening inside your wallet. And here's the part few people talk about. God may test you with money, but He will never be impressed by money, because obedience is more valuable than offerings. Saul lost everything, not because he failed to give, but because he failed to obey. 1 Samuel 15:22 cuts deep. To obey is better than sacrifice. Your tithe doesn't cover for your rebellion. Your donation doesn't cancel out your disobedience. You can't buy favor, manipulate blessings, or invest your way into righteousness. God doesn't run a heavenly stock market. He responds to faith, not financing. And yet, He watches closely. Like the parable of the talents in Matthew 25, God gives resources to see how you manage them, not to see how much you can give back. Some multiplied. One buried his and was called wicked, not for stealing, not for wasting, for doing nothing. That's the danger. You can sit in a pew, write a check, and still hear, "You wicked and lazy servant." This is not about dollar amounts, it's about dominion. Who really rules your life? Because money is not neutral, it's a test, a mirror, a measuring stick for your soul. That's why Jesus talked about money more than heaven and hell combined, because He knew that for most people, money is the real God, not Baal or Isis, not Buddha Mammon. You don't need to bow at an altar to be an idolater. You just need to put your trust in what you can count, control, and keep. That's why so many believers live in fear, afraid of not having enough, losing what they have, or giving too much. But fear is always the enemy of faith. And if you trust God with your eternity, but not your finances, you don't really trust Him. You trust your plan, your hustle, your emergency fund, and none of those things will save you. When Jesus returns, He won't check your giving statement, He'll check your heart. So stop asking, "How much should I give?" and start asking, "What does God want me to release?" Because it was never about amounts. It was always about ownership. The kingdom of God doesn't advance through fundraising. It advances through faithful hearts. So if you're holding back because you think God needs your money, you've missed it entirely. He doesn't need anything from you. He wants everything for you. That's the scandal of grace. He gave everything: His Son, His blood, His Spirit while we were still sinners. Romans 8:32 says, "He who did not spare His own Son, but gave Him up for us all, how will He not also graciously give us all things?" You don't give to get. You give because you've already received. So here's the challenge. Stop treating giving like a spiritual tip jar. Stop negotiating with God like He's a client. And stop pretending that your offering is obedience if your life isn't surrendered. God doesn't need your money, but He's asking for your heart. The question is, will you give it? If that message challenged you, stirred something in your heart, or made you see things differently, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video to help spread the truth. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts or testimony. We read every single one, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a word God puts on our hearts. If you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them right now. And don't stop here, check out our other videos for more bold, Bible-rooted content that will grow your faith, stretch your mindset, and keep you aligned with God's truth. You're not just watching, you're building with us. Stay connected, stay challenged, and stay surrendered.